America 3017. The ultra-conservative Manifest Party controls the government. And the government controls everything. Nevertheless, we persist. We resist. We step out of line and we unfollow.
It's 8:30 on a Wednesday night. Do you know where your kids are? Probably fighting the system. This is Unfollow the Revolution, the only podcast devoted to fighting for the little guy and standing up for a real, true America. I'm your intrepid host, Jack, accompanied by our, maybe a little bit less than temporary guest.
I am definitely a kidnapped victim at this point. It's really a long-term hostage situation, and then it's getting dire. The name's Tag, everybody.
There you
Hey,
go.
out there in podcast land.
And of course, my good compatriot over here, UX813121, or should we call you Champ, coming back from the cage fights, huh?
Yeah, I won. I think killing everyone in attendance counts as winning, but
That is a TKO right there.
it was, I didn't know that I brought a gun to the fight.
That's a good tactic.
Yeah. And I accidentally missed and shot one of the headlights.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but the ring is very, very flammable. That caught fire. You can probably tell.
You're more burned than usual.
Yeah.
And it spread very, very quickly.
Well, you know
All the
what?
Nick Cage hair grease really caused a lot of...
I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was probably the most exciting match I'd seen in a really long time. Tag, you were actually watching it with me for once. What did you think of it?
You know, I wasn't really too excited to see it because it's an illegal event,
Yeah.
but it was an illegal event where everyone died. So, win-win.
I mean, you're not wrong. You are, but...
I mean, the only people who died were criminals in the eyes of the manifest, so I can't really be too sad.
But there was a lot of press. There was a lot of sales of those videos, so
Yeah.
that's actually getting the word out there against the manifest. So that's definitely a victory against him, I would say.
Oh, I mean, no, there's no real bad press.
All in all, though, I decided, since I've vastly lessened the number of Nick Cage clones out there, that I should, sort of in honor of them, take that legacy back on. So instead of Ben Gates 813121, I want you all to call me Nicholas, and then Kim Coppola 813121. I thought that would be...
You're adding, are we getting in, the right size shoes? Are we finding the thing that's going to start fitting here, or...
Well, I just keep picking things that Tag keeps showing me were Nicholas.
I'm gonna stop showing you things.
Okay, that would be
This
great.
is on me.
Really.
It really is on you, Tag.
No, this is why we censor things. Knowledge is dangerous and leads to nothing good.
All right. Well, Nick, Kim Coppola, 813121, it's glad to have you back. Unfortunately, this week, guys, we weren't really able to secure a guest or anything, so
Oh,
we'll just,
surprise. No one wanted to show up here.
Well, Jack, actually, on the way back from the event, a kid jumped in the car, and I thought
you were my driver.
Wait, who is...
I got in the right car.
I
You were at the spot that my driver gets at.
drove you, so you're here.
So you're my driver now?
I guess so.
Did my mummy and my daddy hire you?
Lord, I wish.
Well, your mummy and your daddy? What's your name, kid?
My name's Ransom.
Ransom. That is a delightfully appropriate name. I guess we have a guest.
The young
today.
child Ransom.
Yeah, a young child Ransom that sounds like they came for money.
I did.
All right.
At the age of 3, my mummy and my daddy held me ransom from my real mummy and my real daddy.
Oh, well, all right. This sounds promising, guys. We'll get into a little bit more detail about that a little bit later on, but for every episode, we always start things off with our breaking news segment this week. We've got a few news stories happening. You wouldn't know this, Nick. Kim Coppola 813121. But Tag, do you remember the old show back in the day? Hey, it's Natalie.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, it's Natalie.
Everyone
I
loved
had
that
a
shit.
Natalie poster on my wall.
Everyone did, right?
A little embarrassed to admit, but yeah.
Hey, it was Natalie. You had to
Natalie!
have her.
God,
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, that show, it ran its course, but there does seem to be some good news. Natalie is back. She announced that she's going to have a new show. It's called
What?
Yeah, it's called Natalie on the Attackally. Apparently, she is going to be a bounty hunter now, who is going out on the road, tracking down criminals, insurgents, stuff like that.
You've been holding me hostage here for weeks now.
Yeah.
I've feared for my life most every day. I have never been as excited about anything in that entire time as I am right now for Natalie on the Attackally.
I know.
Holy crap.
I don't even mind. Like,
Jack, you have got to get a TV in here. I know I've asked you before, but like seriously, come on. We have to have Natalie on the Attackally.
I am definitely
viewing
gonna look
parties,
into
okay?
it. And like, I know I should hate it because like the manifest is paying for it, so it's just like political prisoners. But I'm so happy to see Natalie again. Like, I'm glad she's doing well.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
If this podcast gets really big, do you think Natalie could come after us?
I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
Oh my god!
Like, okay.
Oh my god! Okay. I thought I couldn't get more excited. I am more excited right now.
That would be great. Like, if we can meet Natalie. Now, though I will say, if you come to step in, I will shut you down, Natalie. I will end you. But I'm so glad Natalie's back, guys. Nick, you are in for a treat. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, what was Hey Natalie about?
Okay. It's one of those shows where it's like oh, we got it. All right. So hey, it's Natalie. Natalie, like she's like the new girl in town, and everyone's like, hey, who's that girl? It's Natalie, and she gets all these jobs, right? And like she has all these love interests, and it's like, who is her heart really gonna belong to? But at the end of the day, like it wasn't even about like the men in her life or anything like that. It was about what was in her own heart, and what was in her own heart was just like believing in herself. And that really spoke to me a lot as a kid.
That sounds boring.
Fine, we'll get off this awesome news that is maybe the best thing that has happened in a long time, and we'll get on to some exciting news with murder and death. All right?
Thank you.
Fine. All right. So everyone knows that President Chaz, he's in his second week. Things have not been going super great for him. There's been a lot of civil unrest, even more assassination attempts.
What? These are not assassination attempts. I keep telling you. People are simply firing their guns in celebration, and they keep hitting Secret Service members. It's a total coincidence.
Fine. All right. Well, in light of all this, the manifest has stated that Chaz is beginning construction on what is being dubbed Party Blimp 1, which is where he will be residing for his presidency. And guys, I'm gonna be honest here. I do not feel good about this at all. It looks like a floating fortress.
Oh, well, it sounds like it's about time the president gets a floating fortress. Look, if you look at what Chaz is used to before he became president, this guy lived up in the lap of luxury, all right? And you can't expect him to move into the White House, which is just a total slum compared to the kind of place he's used to. So of course he's gonna come up with a way that he doesn't have to live in this public funded housing and can have his own party blimp.
I think this is all just grabbing at power, all right? As a puppet, he was so used to having to look up to people, and now that he's the president, he thinks he can look down on all of us in a literal blimp. And by the way, these ground fireworks they're talking about installing over there, those are air-to-ground missiles. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, all right?
No, they are officially called ground fireworks. Again, it's a celebration. If you can't get behind a little patriotic celebration, Jack, I don't even know how to talk to you anymore.
Look, I wanted only the best for Chaz, all right? I think we all did. I hate his guts still, but I'm just disappointed more than anything else.
I think we should keep trying to give him a chance. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so, we should give him a chance. He's not had a real time to get any sort of legislation through. He's got a long road, yeah.
And I mean, his background as a puppet, he's never had real autonomy. So I mean, he's new to a lot of things right now.
Nah, I don't know. What about you? Kids like puppets, right?
I love puppets. I have many, many puppets at home. My daddy builds them for me. My daddy built the puppet Chaz.
Wait, what?
What? Huh?
My daddy's the puppet master.
Whoa,
Okay.
what?
Oh, this just got very real.
Okay, I think that's gonna conclude current events for right now. Puppet mastery, you say?
Yes, my daddy has built puppets ever since he was a little boy. Before that, his daddy built puppets. And before that, his daddy built boats. But I am being trained in the art of building puppets too.
Oh my god. Wait, so you're saying that puppet Americans, the classified race of Americans, is because of your parents, your dad and your granddad?
Yes, that's us. I'm Ransom, puppet master.
Oh my god. This is okay.
I don't know, I'm not even sure where to start. What I grew up watching the Colin Puppet Master Puppet Hour. I loved that show as a kid, and
You're
then,
welcome from my family.
yeah, I think the Manifest America owes your family a debt of gratitude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute. I remember a lot of that show. All right? He was like the one who was making like the main puppet. But there
Right.
was always like a bunch of little kids who were like not being paid in an assembly line and making not as good puppets.
I'm sure they were being paid in experience.
I don't look. No, that's not really a thing.
What?
No,
At
it's
the time, that was not a thing. At the time, that was not a thing. It is now. It definitely is now.
That's real convenient, Jack.
Look, when it's kids, they can't have experience because kids are stupid and they don't know what they're doing.
And those kids were all being held ransom as well.
Do you have any other? Are there any other ransoms running around here? Do you have any brothers or sisters right now?
Or did you kill them?
Maybe.
Ooh, we've got a lot in common.
I loved killing my brothers and sisters.
Oh, I don't really care for it. It just kind of happens.
Are your parents okay with this? You just murdering your siblings?
Only the strongest survive in the Puppet Master family.
Yep, it's the invisible hand of the free market.
Look, I feel like, and I thought I would never say this, I feel like all the fratricide and sororicide is getting out of hand on this podcast.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you bleeding heart liberal. Come on. How is America gonna get stronger if the weak can't be killed by their stronger brothers and sisters?
I feel like this is...
You just want to coddle children, give everyone a participation trophy, everyone gets to survive childhood? Come
People
on.
are only killing their siblings out of, like, tradition because, like, that's how it used to be back in the day. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, what would the world be like if you didn't?
You just called them stupid. Oh, you just called children stupid.
But kids are stupid. Look,
No, we're not, and I will kill you, or I'll have my daddy do it.
All right, look, all right, here's the thing. Parents, they don't know how to talk to kids, all right? So I'm gonna get real with you, and I'm gonna connect with you like you're supposed to, all right? So let's rap. Let's get into this. All right? Do you think oh, killing your brothers and sisters is cool? You know what's really cool? Fighting your parents.
But my parents give me everything I want.
Yeah, but that means that if they can give it to you, they already had it and they're probably holding out on you, right?
I don't believe it.
Oh, you can believe it. You can believe it, kid, all right? Old Jack's been around the block a few times, and I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Do you have any children?
No, I don't, all right?
I kind of consider myself your kid, Jack.
Aw,
I consider you a mom.
thank you.
As terrifying as it
And
is,
Tag-
that really is their relationship.
I consider you my dad.
Aw.
I am even more uncomfortable now than I was before.
And Nick, do you think they're good parents?
Oh, no. They never give me anything I want.
Well, your dad's been tied to a chair for the entire time you've known him. Also, you've beaten your dad with a wrench.
Nick is the coolest one out of the three of you so far.
And why is he cool?
Because he killed all his brothers,
And
beat his father.
there you go.
Ah, you got me.
Ah, see? I know how the youth talk.
Did you kill your parents?
What? No. Look, I was a traditionalist, all right? My parents were killed in a purge night. All they were trying to do was just jaywalk. It was a means of peaceful protest. Unfortunately, everyone else on purge night wants to commit the murders. And I feel like that's a waste of your purge.
Right, because you can do that any day you want.
Well, no, normal people can't.
Oh, well, you can if you're the puppet master's child.
Yeah, the puppet masters are actually in a class of they're like the 1% of the 1%. I'm not even sure what the number would be. I know calling a puppet master a member of the 1% is insulting.
I've been insulted twice now since you started speaking.
Ooh.
I put you on my list.
Oh dear.
Yes.
All rich children have lists.
Have you already... how many names are on your list?
Right now, 18.
Oh,
That's a reasonable number.
that's not bad, I guess.
I mean,
it was longer yesterday.
Yeah, it resets every day, right?
Yes,
Right.
when I
Yeah.
finish killing people at the end of the day.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna go do a sweep of sharp objects real quick for no reason at all, but I don't understand you. I'm trying to relate. I just can't.
You never will.
Do you want a soda?
Sure.
All right. I'll find something.
I really have to apologize for him. His bumbling attempts to relate to a child are even worse than his bumbling attempts to relate to an adult.
Yours aren't very good either,
I'm not trying to relate to anyone.
aren't you?
Hey, I'm a fan of the Manifest, and I've been illegally kidnapped here too. You've been kidnapped. We have that in
No,
common.
well, I'm the driver, so this is okay.
Exactly. He's my driver now.
Well, I'm not talking about today. When you were a smaller child, you were kidnapped.
I'm only 2 feet tall. I was never smaller than this.
You were born 2 feet tall?
Yes, and I will remain this height forever.
I've heard of that disease. It's actually, it runs in her family.
I bet you really kind of understand puppets, though. You're like
I do.
constantly on their level.
That's actually how the Puppet Master family got into puppets. Is they're all 2
They're my
feet
best friends.
tall.
They're the only people I don't murder because I can't.
All right, Slugger. I couldn't find any soda, but here's some brown water. There's some rum in there. So you do that, and I put a little straw in there for you. So
I could pee in it as well.
No, thank you.
have you had any food products of Nicolas Cage clones?
I have. That's what the puppet masters live off of.
Wait, that's where it is.
Oh man,
Cage meat is with the puppet masters.
the 1% of the 1%. I assume. Now that I think about it, cage meat's the best thing I've ever eaten. So of course that's what the ultra rich are gonna eat. Oh, they're brilliant. God,
We have our own franchise of cage farms.
Wait, what?
You've privatized cage farming?
Of course.
That's amazing.
I have more brothers out there?
Maybe.
All right. Well, if that's the case, we're sitting on a lot of cage jerky. I think I can turn a profit on this. Have you ever had cage jerky?
Of course. I was raised on it as a baby.
All right. I guess we should probably move forward here. You probably, in your pampered lifestyle, have never done any illegal stuff in your life. Well, we're about to give you an education. Tag over here has access to a little something called the Vault, which is where you get to see the things that the government doesn't want you to see.
The government lets me do whatever I want.
It's true. They really do. Once you hit that bracket of taxes, you can do whatever you want.
Wait, what? So they can see these movies?
I'm sure if they wanted to.
All right. Well, that kind of takes the wind out of my sails a little.
I will say, I don't like movies, so I don't watch them.
Well, you're gonna watch one and you're gonna like it. How about that? So what are we watching?
Well, I was looking through the vault this week, trying to find something. This is a movie that at the time, I flagged it, and I never really thought about it again. But lately, it's just been coming up more and more in my mind. I don't know. It's funny how the weirdest, smallest things can just trigger memories in you. So I want to watch this movie. It's called The Matrix.
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Is this like a math thing?
It is unfortunately not about math. Very little math.
I'm still not feeling good about this. All right. No, all right. I'm going to give it benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, well, it's about computers, and it's about there's a revolution in it. So
Okay.
you might like that,
That's
Jack. A little
something.
something for everyone.
All right.
I don't know if there is a lot of killing in it.
Oh, goody.
Okay, so a little something for everyone. All right, so here we go. Let me just log in here, and all right. Okay, everybody, it's The Matrix.
Hi, folks. It's your good friend Ranger Dick with the Environmental Protection Agency, here to issue environmental safety warning for the following communities: Appalachian Hills, Georgian Hills, and Winnipeg, New. If you live in any of these communities, please be aware that there are reports of unsafe levels of nature in your area. Residents are encouraged to stay indoors for the near future while the Quick Response Deforestation Team is addressing the issue. Also, this week's Freedom Beast threat level is cinnamon, and you know what that means. Time to hoard those toilet brushes. Remember, friends, the EPA, protecting you from the environment, big and small.
All right, and that is The Matrix. This one really gets me. Really speaks to me.
Really?
I mean, right up until the end, the first time I saw this movie for my job, I was enjoying it, and I was like, this is a great movie. They're doing a lot of good things, and then I just had to flag it because of the ending, where it looks like, it kind of implies that a revolution against an authority figure is going to succeed, and we can't have that.
Okay, look, we haven't known each other super long. Our interactions have been tepid at best, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I've never been more disappointed in you.
What?
This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This movie is garbage. Why would you like this movie at all?
This time I'm not just pulling out some old movie, Jack. I'm really trying to tell you something. I'm trying to show you what's in. You're not even listening.
Yeah,
it's like you're not even paying attention to me.
It's
Mom,
so crazy that
Dad, can you please stop fighting?
Oh, well, that was some cold water perspective. Okay. Whew. So, let me break it down for you.
All right.
Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. You've got Neo. Okay, now right off the bat, love that character name. Really, I love anything with Neo in front of it. Neapolitan ice cream, neoconservatives, Neo. I'm sure there's a third example. Can't think of it. But yeah, you get my idea. Anything with Neo in front of it, huge fan. So this guy, Neo, is just living a quiet life. He's got a great job in an office with a small private cubicle. He presumably just works hard and doesn't make a big splash.
Speaking of that, let me interrupt real quick, Tag. That cubicle was like 4 times larger than any cubicle I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean it's
kind of a luxury
Hollywood's gonna kind of spice things up, every time they show you something. So you gotta.
So far we have a nerd who works in an office all day.
Yeah. And he is just living a quiet life, not bothering anybody. And then he runs into some would-be revolutionaries, some wannabe insurrectionists. And they essentially kidnap him, just against his will, without really telling him what he's getting into, take him out of the safety of the world he's always known, and try and, I don't know, open his eyes. I would be using finger quotes if my hands weren't handcuffed behind me here, but try and open his eyes to what the world is really like. And meanwhile, I'm sure all he wants to do is just go back home and live under the oppressive regime he's known and loved his whole life.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there, okay? Because I feel like you're trying to draw some parallels here. That you want to be like some dude with an office job who ends up through your computer skills and your nerdy hacking becomes a superhero.
Well, I never really...
I'm going to go ahead and stop you right here. All right. Why is this happening? Why is there a revolution in this movie? I'm not just fighting the man to fight him. I want to make things better, all right? The world that they're fighting is pretty dope. Everyone has agency and they can kind of do what they want. That's sort of what I want. Instead, their real world is shitty. I don't want to live in a bunker, guys. I don't want to have to rely on the bucket system. If things didn't suck, I wouldn't be doing this. So, what's up?
Oh, no, Jack, that's just it. Morpheus thought things sucked, but he wasn't. He was just so wrong. And I think sometimes people with the best intentions can be led astray.
Well, yeah, clearly Morpheus didn't realize the size of cubicle Neo had.
Exactly.
But it's not all on Morpheus. Tag, I don't know if you remember, but Neo had the chance to turn Morpheus over. The agent showed up. They had him. in the room, and Neo flipped them off. Okay, Tag, if you did something that cool, maybe I'd actually like you. But
Well, you see, and that's exactly the part where the movie really lost it for me, is once Neo had a chance to run back to the loving arms of the agents and the Matrix that he's known his whole life, he just turns his back on everything he's ever known for a group of people he just met who kidnapped him. And I can't relate, and I think it's unrealistic, and it's definitely inflammatory. I know violence can be exciting in movies, Ransom, but
It's exciting in real life, too.
it can be, I know. But the thing is, so that's one of the things I love about this movie, and I'm going to get really technical with the cinematography here, but those shots where they would freeze frame an action and then the camera would spin around and show the fight from all sides.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
I think
very technical.
I
You're
think-
getting very technical.
Yeah, I think that's when the camera spins around like that and it shows the many sides of a fight. I think it's important to remember that whenever there's an oppressor and an oppressee fighting for freedom, there's many sides to that fight. And you can't just look and say, okay, I mean, like for example, let's get really specific about this movie. In The Matrix, you have robots enslaving humans. So you have an entire group of enslaved humans, and then you have some people who want to be free from that, and they cause a lot of property damage. Well, how can you say who was more wrong than the other? You can't. You simply can't draw a line and say one side is worse than the other. Both sides have some wrong people and some right people, and I think that's...
All right, so what you're saying is that we should stop and pause and reflect on the situation at hand.
Yes,
All right.
I think definitely that's
okay.
what should happen. I
No.
think the people in power and I think the people struggling to change should all stop what they're doing completely and really take a moment and just say, you know what, things are probably okay the way they are.
No. Everything needs to be a snap judgment immediately. No time for thought, no time for discourse, no time for peace. All right, you see that guy? He was trying to dodge bullets. Now, Nick, you know this because you've shot bullets. They're pretty hard to dodge, right?
no, I can do all of that stuff.
Okay. Well,
In fact, most of the things that I saw in that movie, as far as the jujitsu, the Krav Maga, the Kung Fu, all of that, that's basic Nick Cage stuff.
all right. Look, you're missing the point here.
Okay, I'm
all right,
sorry.
we shouldn't be slowing things down. We should be speeding things
You're
up.
right.
All right?
If he had stopped to think about the bullets, he would be dead.
Exactly.
He had to make that snap decision to dodge them.
He just had to react like that agent did. He didn't even have to slow down the camera. He just did the damn thing. All right. And then when he stopped to go talk to Neo, and then Trinity shoots him in the head. That's what happens when you stop and think about things. You get killed. You gotta act now.
That kind of thinking, that kind of act now thinking is exactly what led to the terrible ending of this movie, where Neo just in a snap judgment decides he's going to fight against the Matrix, the perfect society.
That he did make a snap judgment with those pills. You saw him reach for it. Morpheus even tried to warn him afterward. He said, "Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, are you sure which one?
You can't go back once you make." And he still grabbed it anyway. So it was a very snap decision.
Speaking of which, now this is just me not knowing enough about history and etymology. The whole red pill thing. I don't know if that is related to public school red pill gender studies. I don't know if it's the same term.
Just the idea that you wake up and you just see what's true. You don't have to talk and think about that. All right, now I'm in agreement with that. All right, because once again, you're stopping and you're discussing. That's not right. All right.
Well, we can agree there.
Well, no, we can't. No. Actually,
What?
screw you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too. Yeah, actually, one of my favorite parts of this movie, watching it again right now, I got really kind of choked up, was when Neo and Morpheus fought each other. When Neo wasn't tied to a chair and his limbs were all free and he and Morpheus just fought. That looked pretty fun.
I mean,
Did you think that looked fun,
Do
Jack?
it.
I don't. All right.
Fight him.
I could
Fight
definitely fight you.
him.
I would wipe the floor with you. Let's be honest.
Oh, really?
I want to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
Make
All right.
it happen.
Are we doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Spider-Man.
Tag-
You can have my knife.
Tag. I want you to consider what you had said about stopping and reflecting on choices, because
Okay.
you have been tied to a chair for weeks, and it's
Oh,
not your.
That's
He's had enough time to reflect.
You know-
Let
you
the
know,
man get at it.
You know,
Exactly. Ow!
You were supposed to
I'm winning first.
Whoa! We have a guest, and guests get to throw the first punch.
True, that's
Actually
very
true.
rude.
All right,
Oh, goody.
do you want to throw a punch?
I do, but I'm going to punch you, you bastard.
Get him!
Oh,
Get him! Get him!
Little brat. What is that about? Really? Come on.
I don't like you.
Why don't you like me? I'm fun.
You're a little bitch.
What?
You heard me.
You take a sip of your brown water and rum.
I won't do it. Splat!
Oh God, it's in your eyes! Keep your mouth closed, man. You might swallow some. Ransom, you're really good at violence.
Yes, I am.
Like, I would have thought being 2 feet tall.
I studied it in grade school.
I mean, we all did, but you apparently excelled.
Yes.
You're not getting any jerky. You're not getting any more.
I'll get some from my mommy and daddy then.
What if we? All right. Well, what if we didn't bring you back to your mommy and daddy?
They would come after me.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Of course it's true. My mommy and daddy love me. I'm the best child puppet maker there is.
Okay. I have a question. This is important to me, especially since both Dad and Mom are here. Listen, they were talking in the Matrix about how they grow humans as batteries, right?
Right.
How else are humans made? They acted as if as if there's some. That's the way it's done. We're grown.
That's
Well,
right. I don't. Oh.
okay. So when a mama and a pop
Have filled out all the proper paperwork,
and also love each other very much,
or have a court-ordered mandate,
they.
engage in a special.
It's like wrestling, kind of.
Except everyone wins.
And there's no clothes because that just gets in the way.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's very sweaty, but that's how wrestling works. And everyone wins. And then there's a period of time where one person is significantly put under pressure and has a lot of problems, and the other one can just kind of do what they want and drink and meet other people at other benders and do that. And then later,
There's a stork that comes
Yeah.
and drops a baby off inside a vat in a lab.
Yeah.
And then you get a person.
yeah.
Oh, so wait, would y'all do that right now? You were talking about fighting anyway, and if you're gonna, you might as well take off your clothes and do it, and then we can have someone else join us. They could be a guest.
I would love that.
Yeah.
All right,
We didn't explain that.
I mean, okay. we
Okay,
could
I don't
do-
want to.
We could. That's not gonna.
Right, it's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
it's
us
not gonna
doing. It's just
accomplish-
not what we're.
Yeah.
Oh,
In-
are you talking about fucking?
Whoa! There's a clone present. We don't need to
there's-
talk about that around.
He's only like a few months old.
yeah, he's only a few months old. So like,
Are you okay?
I'm very curious.
Well, fucking is when you put a penis inside a vagina.
Oh, what's a vagina?
That's something ladies have in between their legs.
Where's their penis?
all right. There's been a lot of talk about peen and
a lot of
vagine.
learning. There's been a lot of growing.
There's been a lot of that.
Can I get a demonstration?
See, the thing is,
This
there's
is
no.
not. It's.
I'm gonna.
Well-
All right. I've got some.
I learn best
They
visually.
both have vaginas, so they can't show you.
Hey, no. Wait a minute now.
That's very childish.
That's a little.
Very
That's
immature.
very petty. That's very. All right. I'm gonna go. Later on, I'm gonna go find like some tan drapes, and I'm gonna find like some cucumbers, and we're gonna show you how that works.
Visual representation
Yeah, okay,
would be
we'll
the
do
best
that, okay?
for me to learn.
We'll do that. You're an awful child.
Yeah, you're a terrible influence on our clone, and I want you out of here as soon as possible.
No, I think that
The clone's my driver.
Oh, right.
I don't Well, in that case, we should probably have you get driven on home as soon as possible, right?
That's true.
I'll
Yeah.
take you to a whorehouse and show you how it works.
No, he's not. That's so
You
mean.
can't.
He's
He's
just
not
a boy.
ready. He's not going to understand. Oh.
We can pick up some cucumbers and drapes on the way.
Hey, hey, buddy. We got any questions? Huh? Any questions
Oh,
from our
I
listeners?
have a lot of questions.
From our listeners, you know, where you get questions from our
Yeah.
listeners as part of your internship here.
Thank you, Ted.
Huh?
We can,
why don't we listen?
So
Yeah.
you can send us questions to unfollowtherevolution@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at unfollowtherevo, REVO. Tweet us. Tell me what you think fucking is.
No, please don't do
No,
that.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Or pictures of cucumbers and drapes.
No,
would be helpful.
again.
Please don't.
Okay, so
Please
today
do.
we have a message from a concerned citizen.
All right.
Dear Jackass. Oh, is that
Whoa.
your last name?
Ooh, I
Whoa,
like
hey.
that. How have I? It's been weeks and I haven't thought of that. Good job, listener.
Go on.
For 3 weeks, you've been spouting revolution nonsense without giving us, the people, a platform concerning what changes you'd like to see. You suggest freedom, but how exactly do you intend to implement freedom? So far, you've manipulated a clone into believing he's making his own choices,
What?
and you've threatened a government employee into agreeing with you or facing bodily harm. Your actions don't meet your words. P.S. Are these the same gruesome tactics Unfollow uses? Sincerely, a concerned citizen.
All right, there's a lot of aspersions being thrown here. All right, freedom nonsense, abusing a government employee, manipulating you. These are all just violent untruths. Okay?
Yeah, I'd like to really point out it was not an either or situation with the agreeing with Jack and facing bodily harm. It was a yes and.
What? All right,
completely.
Look, okay, I'm not a bad guy. I don't know why all of a sudden, like, everyone in here is just like, oh, he's a bad guy. He's doing all that. I'm out here for you. I'm here fighting for you guys. All right. I'm out here telling the truths about the demons in our government that are just corrupting everyone, corrupting our children, and taking them off the street and making them build puppets. All right. I am out here fighting the good fight. Now, you want to know what I would do with a free America, all right? Well, we went into a little bit of detail about this. Number one, choreographed song and dance number in a public area. That's how we're going to start. That's how the new world is going to begin. After that, we're going to have the last purge. The last purge we're going to have, all right? And it's going to be just directed just towards the one in power. That's it. That's very simple. All murders. I'm sure you like that. The murders are good.
The murders are good, and I
right.
like that.
Okay. See, we're already off to a good start. Everyone loves freedom. After that, we're going to expand the menu of the nation. No more fancy tax, all right? If you can grow it, you can eat it. You don't have to give it into the government. You don't have to go to any bread houses or anything like that.
This is some pie in the sky utopia you're talking about here, and I can clearly tell you're making half of this up as you go along, Jack.
What? No. All right. I have binders. I have binders full of ideas about how this world can be better.
And not a single one of them is thought out. Okay, we get rid of the luxury tax and let people eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
How people are gonna get fat? Okay. How are you gonna protect people from that? People are gonna maybe eat things that are dangerous. How are you gonna protect them from that?
That is where the creatures from the wastes come in, all right? We're gonna migrate them in. They're gonna integrate into our society. They're gonna become beast Americans. They're gonna chase the fat around. They're gonna lose the weight. Everyone wins. Everyone's gonna be top, and that's just through natural competition, not fascist instruction from the government telling them to get fit, all right?
That sounds a lot like murdering your brothers and sisters for not being strong enough, Jack.
It really does.
No,
Which
no, no.
again,
That's the first idea of yours that I've liked.
Yeah, it's just more of the same, Jack. You just want the same system in a different coat. And look, you kill everyone in power? How is that gonna work? What's gonna happen the next day? If there's no puppet masters left to make puppets, you're suddenly erasing all future puppets. You wanna do that?
You're gonna have, and all the current puppets are probably gonna protest.
Yeah, you
with their
want-
guns.
That's not gonna, all right, that is
You
not
wanna
gonna
get rid
stop.
of, you got a problem with puppets, Jack?
That is not gonna stop the puppet population, okay? If it's a real threat to the puppet population, the puppet biology has ways of shutting that sort of thing down, okay? So those puppets are gonna be fine.
Don't you dare threaten my puppets.
You know what? I can throw whatever I want. You don't have any more rum. You just gonna let her hit your mother like that?
Ransom, hold on a minute. When we do this, we usually do it with a wrench.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. That was
some fantastic wrench hitting, and I'm
was really
becoming
terse.
quite an expert in wrench hitting.
That's some of the best freedom I've ever seen.
Thank you. I have the best freedom.
I can't begrudge you doing what your soul is telling you to do. I can congratulate you on it was a good wrench hit. And I feel like I might have a concussion. But that's fine as long as I keep talking and I keep my eyes open, as I always do, looking out for enemies and terrorists and government stooges. I'll be totally fine. But with that being said, I think we need to get you, Ransom, the hell out of here.
Yeah, Ransom, before we have our clone drive you home, you got any final words you want to send to our listeners?
I would say, if you are in a room with another person, always look for things that can be used as weapons.
She's not wrong. Why did you hand her the wrench, though?
I thought that's how we do things here.
I mean, we do that against Tag, though.
You did it right.
You can do it to Tag too. I don't care.
Oh, that's
She can do it against Tag.
really unnecessary.
I think we're all cool with that.
We could do it together.
We can do a
Let's
vote.
do it.
Okay.
Let's do
Oh,
it
boy.
together.
All right. I'll take top group.
No, you don't.
1, 2, 3.
All right, guys. Well, with that business out of the way, I think we're probably gonna sign off for this episode of Unfollow the Revolution. As always, I've been your host, Jack. And other people were here too. What's your name?
Nicholas Kim Coppola 813121.
I'm very badly injured.
Your name's Tag though.
Sure.
And our special guest.
And I'm Ransom, Puppet Master.
All right, let's get the kid out of here.
Okay. Wanna stop by that whorehouse?
Yes, let's go.
All right.
Unfollow the Revolution is created and performed by David Gossett, Ben Mitchell, and David Nair. Produced by ROCKPUNCH. Intro music by Alan Hanks. Voiceover by Kate Rasnick. We'd like to thank our special guest this episode.
Jenny Wentling as Ransom, Puppet Master.
If you'd like to join Jack's fight against the Manifest, please support the American Civil Liberties Union at www.aclu.org, because the best way to fight tyranny in the future is to protect freedom in the present.